Welcome. Let's get into this. That's the part that sucks. 'Cause we can't hear shit. Okay. What is that? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers I read. Welcome to another Burn Live show. I'm definitely doing this differently than normal. I am broadcasting live on Streamlabs. This is my first time on here. I appreciate people coming up in here. I like it already. This is my first time doing it. I just wanted to make sure everything sounded good. And the first thing that I noticed is the echo is gone. I do sound more professional. I sound more like, yeah. I sound like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a podcaster. I'm trying to get more professional. And that's what we're doing. Yet again, this is the Burn Live Show where we marijuana keeping you connected. We are hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers eye red, keeping underage, smoking off social media. So, we got through that. Please hope you got your weeds, your blunts, your dabs, and you get your stuff ready. I am definitely getting it ready. I'm getting everything ready. I'm breaking things down. I hope that you had a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you are watching this show. I appreciate that. Okay, so I do see up in my live chat when people come up in here, my viewers eye that shows me up in there doesn't really tell me if somebody's up in here. Never mind. It changes. It's just a little slow. Other than like, what's up, everybody? Like I said, I'm trying something new. Already sounds wonderful. Sounds a little bit more professional than normal. So that's a good start. Like I said, you can probably check out my other views. Oh, I forgot to press this one thing too. Yeah, cool. So we are testing this out. Now, I don't have everything complete like I normally would have. I don't. I don't have everything complete. I appreciate that. What's up? What's up? When you put CP, are you trying to really put KP? Capiche? Because, you know. Oh, see, I ain't even got that down here. I have no intro. I mean, I had an intro, but I don't have my little logos and things that I would normally have with me when I go live. Also, I need to figure out, and just to make sure, am I going live on Bookface? So y'all give me 2 seconds. I just want to check and see. Am I going live? Because it's supposed to be multitasking. It's supposed to be actually showing me live in more than one spot. So no, I am technically live on Bookface, Bookface only. No, let me take that back. I'm live only on YouTube. Only live on YouTube. And that kind of sucks with supposed to be here live multitasking. Yeah, I am literally just live on YouTube only. It's interesting. Interesting. So this is why, for one, I kind of missed going live on StreamYard because I would at least still had everybody up in here and I'd have been able to stream live on at least 3 applications. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? So far, so good. Um, so far, so good. Whatever. It's just right now the small little itty bitty problem is that we're only live, only on YouTube. Did you click the multicast button? Yeah, I did. You watched me? You watched me. You watched me do it. You watched me do it, mate. But that's okay. Now I feel like, learning curve. It's still early in the show, so if this didn't really go as well as planned as we would like, it's not hard for me to stop and go right on over there to StreamYard and pick up and continue where we left off. I'm probably going to be a little upset because I know that echo is probably going to be there, and I know over here I sound good. uh, yeah, we'll fix it for next stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I just don't know what's going on. Okay, so this screen right here is to help me actually deal with YouTube and actually so we get into some actual stories. We're gonna finish. Well, this is 15 hours ago. I thought they were gonna follow up with the submarine people that went to go see the Titanic and still hasn't been found. You know, race. Okay, here's something that's 44 minutes ago. Let's check this out.
On the air at 11 tonight, rescue crews from all around the world are rushing state-of-the-art equipment capable of finding the lost sub and hauling it from thousands of feet below the surface of the Atlantic. The Boston-based Coast Guard team is still leading the search, but the base of operations is now here. This is a live look at the harbor in St. John's, Newfoundland. That's where the mission to see the Titanic set off days ago. Those rescue operations could take hours, possibly even days. And the 5 people on board likely only have enough oxygen to survive until 6 a.m. on Thursday. But all the special equipment is basically useless until that sub is spotted, and so far, the search has come up empty. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Wade. Search crews have already covered an area that's larger than the state of Connecticut, sadly with no luck. The WBZ News team is covering all angles of this international story. We begin tonight with Ken McLeod, who's live at Coast Guard headquarters in Boston. Ken?
David, if the submersible is still intact and the crew is still alive, more than half of their onboard air would be used up. Now, that means there's less than 36 hours to find the mini-sub, chart a rescue course, and implement it.
I would like to be proven wrong, but I'm not super optimistic.
That honest assessment tonight from URI oceanography professor Christopher Roman after the Coast Guard indicated that 10,000 square miles of surface searching has yielded nothing.
If it's on the sea floor, things get a lot more difficult. There are not really efficient ways to survey the sea floor and find it.
This is the submersible Titan just minutes before it descended toward the Titanic shipwreck on Sunday morning and went silent. Jannica Mikkelsen is friends with one of the 5 people on board, British adventurer Hamish Harding.
As explorers, we are pessimistic and objective, and as it stands right now, it would be a miracle if they are recovered alive.
In the event of a catastrophic problem, the Titan safety system is supposed to slowly resurface it, but that apparently didn't happen. Linda Josephi is good friends with missing French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet.
Of all the people I've ever met, he was by far the most fascinating and interesting.
A private underwater robot is now on scene, taking the search deeper. But the gear needed to attempt a rescue 2.5 miles deep is still being assembled, and getting it to a spot 430 miles south of Newfoundland and 900 miles off Cape Cod is an enormous challenge. With only 96 hours of air on board, the Titan will run out of oxygen at roughly 6 a.m. Thursday. And given the logistics, many experts doubt there's enough time.
I don't know the answer to that question. What I will tell you is we will do everything in our power to effect a rescue.
Assuming the Titan can be located on the ocean bottom, some experts suggest an underwater robot might be able to hook it to a cable for hoisting to the surface. With that in mind, military cargo planes arrived in Newfoundland tonight with a privately owned deep-sea submersible, and the U.S. Navy is sending...
Let me find out that I don't want to go somewhere stupidly and not even my military, which I pay taxpayer money on, cannot come and help me. That, to me, maybe just me, does not make sense for me to even, not for me to do it, for me to be out there journeying, knowing that the U.S. military is finna go to Canada, Newfoundland. I know I used to have, what's crazy, I used to have people on my podcast back in the day. If somebody was in here that was watching that knows Newfoundland. Yeah, I know I used to have the two people that used to run my podcast from up there. Yeah. When I had I had coffee mugs, shirts, hoodies. Come on, man. I had merch. Not necessarily because of them. I will say because of this one person who was told some lies about me and blah, 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 but Newfoundland is definitely not the place to be. And I heard they got good weed. I don't know. I'm not the person
Deep
there.
sea salvage rig, but it could take days to get them positioned in the North Atlantic, and the clock keeps on ticking.
All these things take time and are not easy, is an unfortunate truth.
Heavy fog at the search site lifted today, and the forecast for tomorrow is good, but the reality is the submersible is still missing, and dawn on Thursday is getting awfully close. Live at Boston Coast Guard headquarters, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
All right, Ken, thank you.
Dang, Ken, thank you. And Ken went quick. Nah, man, that's spooky. That is scary. I really wouldn't wish that upon nobody. I was watching this article earlier and I couldn't finish it, so let's get into it.
Discount code Team BCP. So without further ado, let's get it.
Let's
This
start from the
absolutely
beginning.
insane and embarrassing interview featuring Piers Morgan and Marianne Williamson, who is running for president of the United States against Joe Biden. Okay, she's running in the Democrat Party primary. If you guys didn't know, a lot of you probably didn't know because, you know, she's irrelevant, and also the media is not going to cover it because they don't want anybody really challenging Biden. Okay, she's getting the...
I was going to say the reason I didn't know because I know, and everybody's watching that they did not want us to know that there was any candidates in the Democratic Party that was running. It was only him, Joe Biden. He's capable, comparable, and willing to do the job.
RFK treatment, right? But unlike RFK, who sometimes makes sense, right, on some issues, Marianne Williamson doesn't ever really make sense, okay? She is a woke progressive who is not grounded in any type of reality, and people like this should be let nowhere near the office of the United States president. And this interview right here with Piers Morgan proves it, because he's going to talk to her about what should be a layup issue for any politician in this country, which is the issue of gender and sex, okay? If you are a common sense sane person, okay, this is a layup issue, right? But because Marianne Williamson apparently is not that, either she's not sane or she doesn't want to upset her progressive base, she's not even going to be able to define what a woman is when asked about what is a woman, which, again, is the toughest question you can ask a Democrat, right? So without further ado, I actually want to go ahead and react to this video. But before I get into it, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you know, support my channel, you can check out my merch at GForemanBC. Further ado.
I want to talk about a couple of issues with you, which are in the news, which you have quite strong views about. One, I want to play you a clip. This is the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who was heard on a leaked video talking about the big trans debate at the moment.
You may have noticed Ed Davey has been very busy. Like me, you were probably seeing that he was busy trying to convince everybody that women clearly had penises. And I was reflecting, you all know I am a big fan of everybody studying maths to 18. But it turns out that we need to focus on biology to 18.
Again, facts. This is what everybody believes, even liberals behind closed doors. Okay, but they don't really want to say it out loud because they know if they say it out loud, they can't. Their progressive base of, you know, woke revolutionaries, they're going to get upset. They're going to be mad.
So this has become a big thing, right? Along with the question, what is a woman? There's now a big debate where British political leaders have been asked about whether a woman can have a penis, and they've given varying answers. The British Prime Minister says no. The Labour leader says 99% of women do not. And the Liberal Democrat leader, who he was referencing there, says clearly women can have penises. On the face of it, this might seem a strange debate to be having. But what are the answers? I mean, you're a presidential candidate.
Well, in the United States, I think we are obviously going through a cultural transformation. People are getting more comfortable with the notion of gender fluidity, non-binary sexuality. For me, it's an issue of freedom. People get to be whoever they want to be, do whatever they want to do if it doesn't hurt anyone else. To me,
yeah, but see, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. I'm all for freedom too, okay? But I'm not for freedom up into the point of insanity, right? Where up is down and down is up, and society is being basically cast into chaos, okay? Because I can make the same argument for freedom in regards to progressive criminal justice reform. Basically letting criminals loot and steal endlessly without locking them up because, hey, freedom, right? And that's racist to do so, right? But it's like, no, that causes chaos and destruction, right? We have to have laws in place that keep society organized and structured in a way that fits with reality and protects the freedoms of others, right? Because just like, you know, the freedoms of a business owner to be able to sell his products without getting looted, you also have the freedom of women that, you know, should have the right to be able to be in their own spaces, okay, and to play in their own sports without having to share that space or share competition or sport with biological men and boys.
we have to follow a North Star in our society. That North Star is the idea that all people are created equal. If you talk to me about a trans American, the part that matters to me is the word American. And so...
But what is a woman to you?
Listen, it's whatever at this point in somebody's culture, in American culture, certainly kind of whatever anyone says that it is.
In American culture. I'm not sure I agree with that, right? I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't think that most people in America agree with that, right? Actually, there was a new poll last year that showed that 60% of Americans believe that people can't switch genders, right? Which was up. It was a 4-point increase from 2021, which was 56%, and it's a 6-point increase from 54% in 2017. Okay, this was done by Pew Research. Yeah, I mean, 6% of U.S. adults say a person's gender is determined by their sex at birth. Okay, so yeah, I mean, again, there's this perception that people in this country agree with this stuff, okay? A majority of people agree with this stuff, and I'm telling you, the problem is that you have liberals, again, people like Marianne Williamson, who's probably not a liberal, she's definitely a progressive. But again, you have people like her who's smart enough to understand that this is not a thing. Okay, this is doesn't make sense, but they can't say it out loud. So it makes it seem like, well, there are more people in this country that agree with this than actually do. Okay, when you got establishment, when you got liberals that are afraid to speak up, when you got all these people who don't want to say the truth out loud because they don't want to be called transphobic. Yes, it makes it seem like most people.
I just want to say, because I know people like you not talking, but the reason I'm not talking because when there's facts being told, what else do you want me to say? That's why I'm not talking, just to let you know.
This country agree with something that they actually really don't agree with.
I know.
It can't be though.
Yes,
So
it absolutely can. If people
you
want
say
to
until it
identify a
hurts
certain
people,
way-
but if anyone can put their hand up and say they're a woman, we have a situation we had recently where the leader of the Scottish of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon of the Scottish National Party, she had to resign after putting a biological male into a women's prison. So there is obviously damage there from self-identity, isn't there?
Well, certainly, but I think the issue there was not the issue of the sexual.
What is the fact
gender
she felt that this male identified as a woman at his trial?
Yeah, that would be hard.
Right, simply to get into a women's prison. Yeah. That's wrong, right?
Well, yes, but then that's once you're talking about something like, then obviously it becomes relevant. It's not relevant.
What about sport?
Well, on sports, I do think we need to protect girls who were born as girls. If they are in a situation where somebody, obviously because of the size of their muscles and of their body, gives them an.
But that's all biological males.
Well, yes, that's sort of my point.
So you would stop. Well, hang on, just to clarify that, you would stop biological males competing against biological females.
Unless it can be proven, there are some situations where somebody, let's say they were born as a man, but they're a small man, right? And it can be proven through hormone testing, through muscle testing, and so forth, that there is no biological advantage. But you know, the other day I spoke at Cambridge University, and I noticed when I went into the area where the bathrooms were, that it said, use whatever bathroom you're more comfortable with. And I thought, oh my God, it could be that easy.
No, it's not that easy, right? It's not that easy because of the implications that, again, you just went over, right? The prison example that Piers Morgan brought up, okay, when you're talking about women's sports. I mean, just the other day I was at the doctor's office with my grandma, right? And they had gender-neutral restrooms, and my grandma was like, men and women can use the same bathroom. And it's so funny because she's like 85 years old, right? And her mind was so blown, right? She was like, what? And she just made the funniest face because she just knew how nonsensical it was, okay? It's just funny to me how these people always want to make the argument that, well, you know, it could just be that easy just to go along with it, right? Just accept whatever, right? Accept whatever these woke people want. And it's like, no. Well, it's just as easy to accept reality, okay? Why don't you say that and tell them, hey, look, it's just easy to accept reality that we organize our society by sex, and you just got to go along with what we've traditionally done and what has worked since the beginning of time.
They're grooming our kids. They're letting legislators vote this stuff in. We are letting legislators vote this in. If you let this lady take over Joe Biden, you are helping the cause that you think is wrong. And for people that be like, I'm trying to help the cause, and then I'm like, the government, that quote right there, when people say the government is going to do what the government wants to do, explain that to me. If we're going to let the government do what the government going to do, if you have the right to vote. Now, I do got a friend that comes up in here. He does explain to me about the United States of America Republic, and how those laws are different from people that states the United States of America who believes that they're in states, and they let states jurisdictional territorial. That's how you get put over by the police service. I seen a video this morning that really broke it down. Ever since I ran into this guy, and we've been talking about the gold in 1923, things have been actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm just being honest. A lot of things have been coming to the light of sin, of how to pronounce and go by discussing here on out when it's talking Democrat or Republican, or you're maybe neither or you're independent, or you just have gave up your rights to America and you just, like he said, you're part of the United States of America and a republic.
Well, former President Donald Trump's actions after losing the 2020 election are still the subject of federal and state investigations. One of the key players in the aftermath of that election is also facing legal fallout. Conservative attorney John Eastman today began defending himself against 11 disciplinary charges brought by the State Bar of California. The hearings are scheduled to take more than a week, and at the end, the court could recommend that Eastman's license to practice law in the state be suspended or revoked. Eastman was hired by Donald Trump to represent him in December of 2020 in connection with the 2020 presidential general election, including matters related to the Electoral College. In that capacity, Eastman drafted a memo in which he argued that then Vice President Mike Pence had the power to overturn the election results while presiding over the counting of electoral votes on January 6, 2021. That theory, of course, underpinned much of the rage against Pence by the mob that stormed the Capitol that day. But this disciplinary hearing is not the only major consequence that Eastman may be facing. FBI agents seized Eastman's cell phone last summer, reportedly at the behest of the Justice Department's Inspector General. Also last summer, a federal judge agreed that his emails should be released to congressional investigators because he found it, quote, more likely than not that President Trump and Dr. Eastman dishonestly conspired to obstruct the joint session of Congress on January 6, 2021. And last winter, the January 6th investigation in the House referred Eastman to the Justice Department for prosecution. Presumably, that referral, along with whatever the FBI found on Eastman's cell phone, have been passed on to Special Counsel Jack Smith, who's yet to announce any results of his criminal investigation into January 6th. And we are also awaiting charging decisions by Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney.
It's crazy and amazing and weird that now everybody is sort of going to court. If you look at it, I mean, that's how I see it. Everybody's going to court. Everybody's got some type of court case. So, hell, let's give it up to the new guys. Everybody that's new out there that wants to be, that wants to do it their way, let's give it up to them. Why can't we do that now? Huh? We can't do it? Let's give it up to them. They want all the old heads. So anybody, 45 and up is out? Let's clean up the White House. Y'all, cause come on now. Let's clean it up. You think it's gonna be easy?
No. We could do it, but they won't, probably.
Who is that? It take us to do it. We have to do it. It's time for us to sit up here and say, you know what? Let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. If you don't like that person, he said something to you, he talked about your mama, said you was black, he told you to go back to your country, he told you to build a wall, he said all you wanted was government assistance. Let's clean it up. All those people that said anything negative, that you have those feelings, that you feel like you're involved, you feel like this is part of what you want. Let's do that. Let's make it let's make it good again. What's up? Can we do it?
Make America great again.
I think we can do it. I think we see that it's time to make the right assessments. I've been trying to make the right moves for a while. Understand that some of these things the way I think I know, ladies and gentlemen, the way I think I know is disruptive. It's maddening. It's crazy. It's could be better. I could take a lot of situations that's out there and handle them better. We all can. We all see a situation and we react to it. Good or bad, bad or good. We don't know. We just move along. Somebody say something we don't like, we explain it, we tell it. What's that song? Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and every. Okay. So let's start telling our neighbors everywhere, this is the end. We don't want it no more. We're tired. Let's go change the Constitution. Let's go rechange it. Let's make it go fit more accessible for how we want it. Is that hard? Is that not what we're trying to do? Is that not a bigger picture in life? What somebody tell me? Let's get rid of electoral votes. Okay. Y'all see? We trying to do all of this. Everybody, what was the other one I said too? Let us all get our reparations. Hell. Even if you was a slave, you need to be paying reparations because everybody was a slave. So let's pay everybody this is what we want. The white man, which I never knew that color really made specific to a person, and we just can't say the race or who owes us this money with the name behind it. I know that last name, the white man. I would hate for my last name to be the white man. What if that was my last name?
Michael the White Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my last name. Michael the White Man. I'm finna get that changed tomorrow. I need donations right now. Help protest to change my name to the white man. So every time that somebody complains, the white man, I'll be like, what? What did I do now? While I'm making fun of it and somebody's out there getting mad and upset because I'm making fun of it, but you know for a fact there's somebody out there right now with that name. Who's going to pay for freedom? Who's going to pay for freedom? How is we going to capitalize as everybody free and run around here running amok? Let's go. See, I like how people say, we just want freedom. Go to the ghetto. They got freedom. Look at the ghetto. Look at the hoods. Look at the trailer parks. What's that right there? Go on Owens. Go on Owens Street right before, what's that? Main and Owens. Go right there. That's freedom. Go right there. We the people? Yeah, okay, we the people. Go up there to Owens and Main Street and look at freedom. Freedom is overrated. Freedom is going to start the purge. Freedom is going to get people's heads decapitated by Indians coming out the woodworks. Ooh, they free kill them. A murder is nothing but somebody missing a person. If you did not miss that person, he would just be a dead man or a dead person. It wouldn't be a murder, because murder consists of somebody calling it in. Yeah, somebody's been murdered, been stabbed, been killed. Without that, it's just a dead person. That's gonna skyrocket. But I understand with freedom, then I'm free to just, survive and anybody harm me and scare me. You know what that means. If I'm free to do that, you know where I'm gonna be. Freedom to give back the drama too. Only the tough survive, right? Good guys finish last. You gotta be strong. You can't be weak. Not here in America. So why would I want to give you and everybody else, especially the ones that don't deserve it, the same freedom that we the people deserve? Because not everybody deserves freedom. Some people deserve to be locked up. But then I'd be wrong for saying that. Oh, man, you're harsh. You're mean. You're mean. We give people places to live. Okay? You don't remember Boy Scouts? They taught you how to knock down a tree with that saw, build you a hut. Go on YouTube. They don't teach you how to survive off the grid. So you can leave us alone. Okay. We don't have to do none of that, and we can still believe. I'm glad that my boy putting in these comments, because yet again, we can still leave you alone right now. You can go off the grid, go to Utah or New Mexico right now, and you can go off the grid. Buy you a home, buy you some property, and won't nobody bother you. And then when we go to war with another country, or when something cool come out, I'm like, hey, I like that. Or sorry for this type of conversation. When pussy be a little bit cheaper, don't come to the mainland where we at. Don't come to civilization and come get our cheap little sex toys. Don't do that. Don't come to the hood and come get our marijuana. You grow it out there yourself. Grow your weed out there yourself. Don't come to no dispensary. Don't come to no gatherings. No earth. Don't come to none of that. You send smoke signals from the mountain above, you and your hut and your wife that you done knocked out and dragged up there, because you better drag you 2 women up there. I got a friend right now, got a beautiful job. He talking about, man, I want to live off the grid. I can't wait to quit my job. Okay. I hope y'all have to leave y'all cell phones in the city right before you leave the county. No. You don't need that. You don't need that $25 a month. You don't need that. You want to live off the grid. You better send pigeons to Walmart to go pick up some eggs. No, you better not even send a pigeon to Walmart. I'm sorry.
Go get some chickens.
And you better not take it. You better not take it from my neighbor George, because me and George are selling these eggs. Okay, I need you. You got to think like that. I understand that we don't have the freedom, or we don't have the proper rights in order to do what we need to do in this country. Oh, I'm sorry. That was nasty. We don't. But we're a long way from what it used to be. Society can't say that we're just that downright overrated, put to the curve, stepped on pinto bean. Like right now we are. Right now we're toilet paper that hangs on the back of your butt when you get up, and you thought you dropped it in the toilet, and you get up and it's still hanging, that little piece of toilet. That's how America is right now. Right now. Okay? You got Jamaicans that ain't scared of us. Okay? That's the problem. Okay? I was liking when Jamaicans and Haitians and people that was close to us, around us, was scared of us. They ain't scared of us. You are American or Republican. I ain't scared of you either. You still stay over here in these states. We ain't scared of you. Now, when you say I'm going to the trunk, then I'm scared of you. Cause why you gotta go to the trunk? What's in the trunk? I came over here with a book bag, 13 shirts, 2 pants, some flip flops, and some panty loafers. Illegally. Y'all wanted to be free. I was trying to get free. I had some slaves back there, some slave owners that was in a whole nother country that making me stuff drugs and make me came to this country. Now I got to poop it out. My stomach hurt. Had a lot of beans and rice. But that's a problem. This is a part of the land. Is that better? This is the part of the land. This is America. This is of a society where we have to vote. We just can't say, I want. They need to give. Even gangsters was never given nothing. Thugs never, they take. Listen here. You can say they are Americans, but if they cannot vote and they vote does not count, that, sorry, solidifies them as not truly Americans. Because even Hawaii was going through that problem for a while in the 90s. I know you know about that, where their votes did not count. If your votes did not count, them illegal immigrants that's coming over here from Mexico and South America and China and Jamaica. Okay? Come on now. I just don't understand. We got June, like I said, y'all. Let me go back to this again. We got Black History Month with 28 days. We got 29 days because we got Martin Luther King Day. Now we got 30 because we got Juneteenth. And I did not know that that was a federal holiday. No, I did not. Why am I keep celebrating black people when black people ain't did nothing for me? Now, I'm not talking about the slaves that fought for our freedom. I'm just talking about the ones that I see around here, around now. Today, modern society. These niggas ain't doing nothing for me. Parents in the 80s barely made it for me. '80s babies had to make the road smoother for the 90s babies, for the 2000 babies. We're the generation that's looked up like, okay, now we're getting it right. Oh, don't forget about the woke. There are a bunch of wokes. I got a good friend who I bet you we sat down and had a conversation. And the only reason I have this belief, because I could be wrong. But then I see pictures that says that maybe I'm not that wrong. But I have a good friend that's a school teacher. Teachers at the school that we used to get into it with, our rivals. It's amazing. Just can't believe it. But oh well, society, life, whatever. But I guarantee we had that sit down, we had that talk. Grooming kids in school. Should they be taking these hormone pills? Should girls be playing in guys' sports? Should guys be playing in girls' sports? Is white supremacists the number one thing that's keeping the black folk down in America? If I asked her these few things, I'm sure her answer would be democratically yes. Yes, these are the problems, Michael. And I don't see how your black ass doesn't know that these are the problems. What we used to go through in school. And I'm like, we didn't go through nothing in school. We didn't have racial problems until movies hit the fan. Roots, Time to Kill, Mississippi Burning. Until Samuel Jackson became one of the blackest, highest paid, well-known, best actors in the business. Man, he was pushing Denzel Washington to the side. Huh? But yet again, come on, man. I'm tripping. You're going to say I'm tripping. You're going to say that I am forgetting key value points in life. And I'm like, okay, there are key value points in life that happened, that made society, made life beautiful, wonderful. We cannot forget those. But then when you look at a generation that's got to pick up a slack, that's got to hold on, when there's another generation, the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. You know how much information the 70s and the 60s and the 50s got? Huh? You know how much information they got? Do they share their information? Can you sit down with an old head and be like, old head, what's going on? What happened? What's going on? Where you been? What's going on? What's new? What's going on? How can we progress? Oh man, it's the white man that got you down. It's the white man. Instead of telling me the good things and the positive and the negative things and all of it in one big nutshell of a butt. One big shit turd. Put it in the damn toilet. Let's flush it. Let's go. We still think that we do not matter. To where we still thinking that we gonna put up this sign, boom, man, Black Lives Matter. So who gives a flying fuck? Who matters? How about the situation that's going on matters and we're not handling the right business? How about that? How about there's so much killing, mass shooting? How about we handle that problem? How about we tell bad guys, if you do something bad, if you commit a murder or a crime or you steal, you're going to prison, not jail, not juvenile, not a smack on the wrist, not put it up for the gang, not put it on the set, not do it for the homies. You're going to prison. You're finna be able to drop the soap more times than a fucking Sprite commercial with LeBron James in it. Huh? I want people to understand when they do something that bad, this is the type of society that we need to bring back. I heard a statement that I actually had to agree with. I can't believe I'm finna say this statement, but I had to agree with this statement. I want old Joe back. I want old Joe. Who wanted to lock up criminal? He wanted to lock up everybody. He wanted to lock us all up. He didn't want us around none of his people. I want racist Joe back. I don't like this diverse Joe. And I know people are probably watching like, he just said he want racist Joe back. I can't believe. Yes. I want racist Joe back because guess what? Racist Joe wouldn't be putting up with this right here that's going on in the world. That's going on with America. But I'm the crazy one. I understand. I'm crazy. I'm delusional. I lost my mind. I got too far into politics to where I'm not thinking straight. Sure. Okay. 1 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. You're whatever. Crime rate went up. Yes. Shooting went up. Yes. LGBTQ community is going up.
Yes.
Yes. It's funny how all of this is going up together. Hold on. White cops killing black people? No. Why not? When's the last time you heard a story? Huh? I thought white cops kill black people every day. But we want freedom? Crime rate is showing freedom through the roof. It's showing it like a bubble, like a tournament. But I'm the crazy one. I'm delusional. Okay. probably shouldn't even have a podcast like this or a streaming, whatever. I probably shouldn't even stream. Things that go through my mind that I think about, that help us, that I see, that I bring proof up here every day, that true things that matter, making houses way more affordable. You want to clean up the homeless? Let's figure out the ones that are homeless for a reason. Let's worry about them only for a minute. Oh, I'm homeless because I lost my job. I'm homeless because I couldn't find a place to stay. The ones that actually say, I don't want to be homeless. Let's start with them first. Let's start with the ones that are homeless because they say, oh, I don't want to be here in this state. Where in the life written sentences do you want to be? Let's start with them first. Y'all still got a whole half a blunt. What y'all doing? Y'all busy? Y'all got something to do? Y'all got somewhere to go? Cause I ain't been. I'm. What? Bye. Today, tomorrow, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, a month, 2 months, this problem that we starting to see, I am going to private message you my number. Like I said, y'all, I'm trying something new here with this Streamlab. I'm not actually on my normal server like I normally be. So, bear with me. Excuse me. But also I heard I don't talk that much either, so I know I had to talk more. Oh my God. Here you go. Here you go. This is for y'all. I know y'all gonna like this one.
I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve. Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing. Tax you for breathing this good old air that we working so hard and paying our tax dollars for in order to be able to make sure that you got this good.
See, now, if I would have went on that type of rant, y'all would have thought I lost my mind. Y'all would have thought I lost my mind if I would have went on that rant. That's the type of rant that I would have went on, but I don't go on rants like that because y'all not finna sit up here and say that I lost my mind. I'm not. I'm going to be civilized when I talk. If I'm going to tell a joke, I'm going to tell a joke.
Good old air and this good old water. There's people in Detroit right now that say that they deserve water. They deserve clean water even if they don't pay for it. Says who? Back in the day, they had to go all the way over into the river and dig wells and filter the system themselves in order to make sure that all of their people in their village had clean water. Who said you deserved anything? Listen, I hope they don't give you a dime. Now, as a matter of fact, if they create a I'm against reparations committee, I'm gonna be the first person to sign up and donate to it.
All right, guys. So I want to react to this press conference featuring Karine Jean-Pierre when she's asked about reparations. Okay, does President Biden support a payout to Black Americans for?
That's the problem. We need not to go harder than people than that. Like I said, I don't even want to go harder than that. You know what I'm saying? Of saying taxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We need to sit here just like he got a podcast, just like I got a podcast, just like my man that I be watching. Everybody got these podcasts. We need to sit here. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't gonna invite me because I'm a pothead. They ain't gonna invite me. But yet again, sit up in here and have this conversation with everybody.
Slavery. Now, the reason why I'm doing this reaction is because I want to show you guys how the Democrat Party does the okie doke with black folks. Okay, we know that election season is coming up and Democrats want the black vote. Okay, and the easiest way to get the black vote really is to come out here and to pretend like you want to give black people a handout. However, if anybody's been paying attention in regards to how this reparations conversation works with the Democrat Party, it always starts with the same process over and over and over again, but it never ends up with people actually getting paid reparations because it's simply not going to happen. It's never going to happen, and I wish that people will understand that and move on past the conversation. However, people won't, and part of the reason people won't is because, again, they allow the Biden administration, people like Karine Jean-Pierre, to give them the okie doke in regards to this conversation for votes. So you literally have proposals coming from state-sanctioned panels that are recommending millions of dollars in payouts to Americans for reparations. So it's very important to understand which proposals are serious, which proposals are not serious. And a lot of that comes down to which source of news that you use and if it's legit or not legit. And this is why I use Ground News. Now, with Ground News, for every story, you get a quick visual breakdown of the news outlets covering it, their political bias, how factual the source is, the entity which owns the source, and which countries are covering the story, which I think is extremely important. Ground News also allows you to compare headlines. You can sort them by things like factuality, location, and biases. You can follow specific topics like Jordan Neely, Bud Light, Trump, Meghan Markle, etc. I really like what is known as the blind spot page. It shows you articles that are underreported and overreported by a source mainly from a specific political affiliation, making it a blind spot for the opposite side. So, like, you know, when you watch Fox News, they only cover certain stories, or like when you watch CNN and they only cover certain stories, right? It allows you to see who's covering what stories and who's not covering certain stories. Now, if you're interested in understanding the biases of the media, you can go to ground.news/BCP to stay fully informed on breaking news. And to avoid media bias, you can sign up for free or subscribe for unlimited access if you want to support the mission. Now, you can also download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. And last but not least, there's also a Chrome extension. So when you're looking for stories, you can instantly see what the political bias for the stories are. And if you like what you hear, don't BCP for sponsoring this video today. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Karine, this White House is recognizing Juneteenth, which is Monday. And with that said, the issue of reparations continues to be something that is being parsed out on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue. And with that said, the late John Conyers started with, a study. Now you have Congresswoman Bush not just asking for a study, but she's creating a resolution to push forward on reparations. What does this White House believe when it comes to this controversial issue of repairing a wrong for the descendants of Africans in this nation?
Yeah, so real quick, Cori Bush proposed $14 trillion. Okay, what a responsible administration should come out and say is that, look, we can't pay out $14 trillion, okay? We simply can't afford it. And, at this point, I think it's something that people really need to kind of move past, right? Because it's just not economically feasible. It's not an economically feasible policy. It is what it is.
So look, as you mentioned, Juneteenth, there was a concert here yesterday, and we saw how powerful and how moved the president was by the concert and by kind of the story that was laid out through the concert about Juneteenth and how important that moment was. Opal, as you know, was here, and it's always moving to hear her and to see her. And as you know, the president signed Juneteenth to be the most recent holiday about 2 years ago. So I think that shows from that action. I'll give you more. I think that shows from that action how important the president thinks this moment is, how important he thinks that it is important to continue to lift up the African American community, and he'll continue to do so.
So here we go. This is what I try to tell you guys. This is what the okie doke is. Again, this is why I say that this conversation is such a waste of time. She literally just talked about Juneteenth in response to a question about how does the president feel about reparations, which tells you everything you need to know about what's coming, right? That these people actually don't want to give out reparations, but they want to try to pretend like they've done so many things for black folks, okay, because they gave black people another holiday, right? That, again, we really didn't need. And I actually believe that Trump wanted to make Juneteenth a holiday as well. So it's not even like Biden is doing something unique, right, that Trump probably would have done. Again, this is just her trying to basically filibuster here on this answer of reparations, because ultimately they're not giving it out, right? It's not happening.
It relates to reparations. I saw just moments ago Cori Bush's resolution. We haven't reviewed the proposal yet. It's a new.
AKA we're not interested, right? We're not interested in that. We're never gonna do that, right? I mean, how long has that proposal been out? You still haven't reviewed it yet? It'd be nice for you to have it reviewed before Juneteenth, okay? But no.
New proposal, so we'll take a look at it. So I can't comment on that specifically, but the president has been really clear as it relates to reparation. He wants to see a study of reparations and studying the continuing impacts of slavery. He believes that is incredibly important.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Again, this is where the okie doke comes. What do they do out in California, right? Gavin Newsom, who's supposed to be, pro-reparations or whatever, Democrats will be pro-reparations. What they do is that they say, hey, we want to study reparations, right? We want to study reparations and tell you guys how much we owe you, right? And then once we spend years studying reparations, make you guys think that the Democrats are actually, okay, after the recall, it was done. They had already got your vote. Then they move on, and then they're going to say, hey, well, we need another study. Again, this is what they do at the national level. This is the strategy. We're going to do a study. We're going to spend years studying it just to tell you no, right? Again, with every year that passes, the argument for reparations gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker because it becomes more difficult to trace back who actually was affected by slavery, right? Who actually suffered? Who's actually a real descendant of slaves? It gets harder and harder and harder to trace that back the more time that moves on. And this is why Democrats continue to kick the ball down the road. And this is why I tell people, it's never going to happen. It's not something worth fighting for. People that, are supporting people that are fighting for this,
I don't know, y'all. I'm with them. I'm with everybody who think that, this is not going to happen no time soon. I really don't think it's going to happen no time soon, just me personally. But who am I to say that they can't be wrong or right. I'm not perfect. I'm not making the laws. I'm not up there debating and arguing. I don't know. What I do know is it's been a nice one. I'm finna get off here. It's been nice hanging out with you guys. Until tomorrow. Okay? Peace. Ah, shit.